Hey everyone, I'm just recorded 5 videos. I'm just editing them in now while I've got a chance. Uh, had quite a busy morning just trying to start to reschedule and organize stuff again. Just trying to plan out what I'm working on in the next 3-4 days. Because we got our 5-day challenge on the 16th of May. So I like to know we don't have too much little things outstanding and stuff like that. So I was just trying to make headway on stuff. As you do, or not. As you do, like me anyway. So just stitching together some videos, editing really quickly. That's 5 actually. One of them, my auntie called. Hey George, my auntie called halfway through. And as I ran over to get the phone, I was like, really like, ugh. I was in mid-flow. Ugh. So I had to take a 2-minute phone call. And I come back and resume. And I was not happy. I was not happy. Right, I'm recording a video and then my auntie calls halfway through and there's no one else in the house, so I have to answer. And I was like, and I can't say, what are you ringing for? I have to be, I have to be nice. Don't you hate it when you got to be nice on the phone to someone and deep down inside you are raging like a volcano? You're like, yes, I'm okay. Deep down you're like, get off the phone. You know, it's like when you go somewhere and you're desperate for the toilet and there's a queue. Hey, Drive Mix Bob, how are you? There's a queue for the toilet and you're desperate to get in and someone goes in before you and you feel like they're intentionally taking time. You're like this outside going, come on. So yeah, I'm recording a video and my auntie called. Broke my flow. It broke my flow, guys. It broke my flow. And when you're in full flow, when you're recording a video, it is not good because you got to find your mojo back again. Where were you? You know, what were you doing? That's brilliant, George. When you're in a meeting with headphones, your parents think you're speaking to them. Oh, there was a time when I was talking to someone in a meeting, and I was asking them questions, and my wife came in going, "Why are you asking me that?" And I was like, "Get out." Hey, Melissa. No kidding, Drive. The first one in a week. We've been on all week so far. You know what's really funny? These 5 videos I've recorded, if I look at myself from video 1 to video 5, okay, there's video 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's video 5, okay, there. I feel like I've lost weight. In 1 hour of recording 5 videos, I've lost weight. I feel like my face gets thinner. Look at my face there. You probably can't even see it because of the thing, but I feel like I lose weight. I'm not joking. Look, let me just take away my circle, right? Look at this face here, right? Look at the face here, right? Now look at the face here. Now look at the face here. And then here's the 5, and then this is the 4. Look, I've lost weight from video 1. Maybe it's just me. Is it possible in 1 hour of video recording, I lost weight? This is a breakthrough. Screw the diets. Screw exercise. Screwing. Maybe not. This is how you lose weight. You just talk to the camera. And it just, in a way though, you do. I do find though, you know when I look at my iWatch, I have found that I burn more calories in an hour of talking than, say, an hour of working. There's something about the fact that you're more active inside. Your heart is racing more. You might not realize it, but your heart is pumping more when you're doing stuff. You know, it's like just by talking. You know, if you're ever in a meeting where you're just talking and interacting, double check how many calories you've burned, even though you've been sat on your seat, because you're more like You're doing stuff. Hey, Mohammed, how you doing? I'm just editing a video. Sorry, just dancing to lose weight channel. Hey, this is what I mean. And this is something I have spotted before. Sometimes when I'm just working and I keep looking at my, your Apple Watch where it has your how many calories and whatever you've burnt in the day or whatever. And it's quite slow. When I've done, like, I've been on the phone to someone, or I've done a meeting, or I'm doing a live chat, and I look at it, in that hour, half an hour, you are pumping more calories out of your backside. You are pumping out more. So sit there and talk. The more you talk, the more you walk. But you're not walking, you're just talking. I feel like I'm having an Eminem moment here. Will the real Slim Shady... No. So I would say it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Has anyone else noticed that when you talk more, you do actually burn more? This video is called Expert. Is this the Expert video? Oh, I can't remember now. Is this the Expert video? Yeah, this was that video. The podcast videos, I call them because it's mainly just me talking. These ones are dead easy to edit just because you're not having to edit chunks out when you're doing stuff on the screen. Hey, Drive Mix, just got back to seeing the live. We don't need the government after you for your breakthrough. There we go, you see. Do you know what gets on my nerves? You know whenever on the news you find out someone has just done a research paper or someone has just confirmed that if you drop off a building, you will die. And you go, they had to do a research paper on that. Or they do something like, there has now been research done, but if you sit still and you don't walk, you are not very active. It has been proven. You're thinking, they've probably paid... research papers, scientists, experiments, the chi-square. They've got out a big book and gone, ooh, let's now check. Oh, it is significant. 5 standard deviations. Go, Mohammed, you got a question. Go with it. Go with it. What's your question? What's your question, mate? Do you know how to customize cart table? Well, you could so you could use the obviously Elementor cart. You could use Shop Engine, free plugin. You could use some CSS. So you right click it, you inspect it, you get your CSS code. The text, the font, whatever you want to do on it. The best, the one way I would definitely recommend is using the Elementor Pro cart widget that they introduced about, 4 months ago? I would use that. Are you kidding me, Drive Mix? The same amount of icing on the side of an Oreo. You can't, you know when they do this and the news reporters get really excited. Ooh. You sit there going, they've probably, I reckon, right, they must easily spend £250,000. And all that money is just paying for a PhD or a scientific paper or for the scientists out there. I really get wound up. I've worked in the NHS. I know how much money is wasted on research and consultants and stuff with no good outcome at all. Doesn't matter what government's in, yeah? Tory, Labour, it does not matter. Forget tribal politics. They all do the same thing. Money spiffed up the wall is what they would say. Hey, Pickstar, how you doing? How you doing, Pickstar? I used to do it a lot. I would often talk to myself, debating over solutions, or when a client's peeved me off, and I sit there. They're not there. They're not hearing it, but you imagine the client is there, don't you? You know when a client's annoyed you, you imagine the client is here, and you're going, why couldn't you do this? Why couldn't you do that? Why did you not listen to me? Don't you do that? And you feel like you're getting it off your chest. I'm feeling okay today, Pickstar, thanks. How are you feeling? How's life with you? Hey, did you have your barbecue yesterday, or was it today you're going for one? I can't remember now. Did you say it was yes, today? I have to say, you know the music I've been putting on our videos, on our YouTube videos right at the end? I really love when it comes in. I really love it. Yeah, Woody Woodpecker. I still feel like that is a movie idea waiting to happen. The Woodpeckers. I think it's a great idea still. So you're looking. So Mohammed's looking to more ad details like tax and price, and yeah, but you see, I think you might need to use another plugin then. You might need to use another plugin. Have you tried Shop Engine? Have you tried Shop Engine? Ah, so how was it? How was it? In fact, how many? What did you eat, Pigs? Tell us what you had. Sausages, hot dogs, burgers, chicken. What do you have, and how much? Tell us how much. Make us all jealous. Make us all hate you. Come on, how much? You know, my son's been coughing for about 3-4 days, and he's passed it to me. And last night, my throat really hurt due to coughing. I want to make that clear right now. My throat hurt because of coughing. Right. I didn't really get much done this morning, which was annoying because wife was out and about, son was home, next door neighbour's son came over. They both wanted to watch Avengers Endgame. So I put it on for them, but because I felt I have to sit with them because it's a 12 plus, so I better just sit with them in case there's any, if I have to just sit with them. So that was most of my morning gone. Yeah, see what George just said. That's where I was thinking that unless you can do it with Shop Engine or something, you might need to go down a coded route. And I would say This is where I always take a step back and go, is it worth it? So Mohammed, is this for your website? So is this something you want, or is this for a client's website? And is the client going to invest in the extra money to do it and the time and resources? How much of a showstopper is it? How much of this was part of the original spec? How much of this is scope creep? Mohammed, have you looked at tutorials? There's quite a few tutorials on YouTube for Crockablock, for Jet Engine, sorry. Have you looked at tutorials? Yeah, so client's website, and is this something they specifically asked for, and did you price it? You know, when you costed up the website, is that included in your pricing? And I would say that, is this something they want or something you want to do for them? And I would say there's loads of Crock-a-Block jet engine. I keep saying it wrong. Jet engine videos. There's quite a few jet engine videos, you know. Neck steaks, grilled paprika and asparagus. I would have ditched the asparagus, but yeah. Great butter with flatbreads. Nothing special, but great. Oh, okay. $10K is a very good amount, I have to say. Is that dollars? Is that $10K dollars? What currency are we talking about here? But is this something they asked for? Or is this something you want to do? Yeah, what George said then, create a template for the cart. And if you're unsure, there's videos. So I would just like go and look on YouTube for some jet engine videos. And I'm sure you'll crack the problem or what you're trying to do. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Dave. Yes, so I checked with Verdi, Dave, and basically it's so what happens is there's a certificate you have to submit to WordPress. The trouble with WordPress is that even if you submit that certificate, it can take a day, a week, 2 weeks even. So it's actually for WordPress to go, right, this is now okay to use. So Verdi's confirmed, because I checked with him, he's confirmed that they've done everything they need to do. It's just down to WordPress. So I hope in the next day or two it will be back up. So the code snippets plugin, there's nothing wrong with it. It's okay to use. It's just you know, WordPress. Yeah, you know the certificate. Whenever you have a plugin or anything on WordPress, you have to submit a certificate regularly to show the vulnerabilities, everything is okay, it's compatible, you know, and all of this crap. So that's all it is. Yeah, so Mohammed, go and check on YouTube, Jet Engine videos. Wow, Gary, never heard that one before. Been busy as a kitty in the sandbox. Or like my cat outside the sandbox. Right, let me just do the next video. So I'm just editing videos. Yes, so Mohammed, have you watched YouTube videos for Jet Engine and how to use it? Have you watched videos on it? Because I know Crock-a-Block have been pumping out lots more videos in the last 2 months. Have you gone and watched a video on it? Just make sure this video sounds okay.
Hey, it's Imran Web Squadron. You've heard of Horizon Machines and other. Stay wise, and I'll see you soon. Wise, and I'll see you soon.
Right, that's another video. We are pumping out the editing on these videos at the minute. We are pumping out these videos. To be honest though, Mohammed, it might be that, you know, if you understand how to use it, the principle should you should be able to relate the principles to the rest of it as well. Also, have you tried asking on the Croco Block forum as well? Because they have a Facebook forum. Have you tried asking on there as well? But yeah, what I would do, Mo, yeah, is go to Facebook, go to the Croco Block channel because they have a community there, and I would ask you a question there because someone might already have something, or even refer you to a video that specifically goes through it or a tutorial. Yeah, I mean, don't forget though, you know the Facebook Crocoblock community, I think it's called. I would ask there before you go to Crocoblock support. I mean, when I first used Elementor, you're always tempted to go to Elementor support, and then I realized, oh, Elementor Facebook group, and that's, from what I can tell, the Crocoblock community is quite quick on answering, aren't they? I think they're quite responsive on there, so. You know, Lana, bless her, who's in Ukraine at the moment, she's very good at like moderating and helping out on that group. So she might be able to advise as well. Lana Miro, she's quite good on there. So yeah, I would double check and ask on there. Right, so that's the influencers one done. Let's get this video done.
Welcome back to Web Squadron. Imran Siddiq here. I'm going to talk to you about a telephone conversation I had with the head of a barristers in England. I think they were in Hertfordshire or somewhere around there. It was actually a while ago, by the way, which is why I can't remember the exact location. What happened is they were looking for a web designer, and I got in touch, me and maybe a few others. One page. Share and follow, and I'll see you soon. Follow, and I'll see you soon.
Yay! That's the video number 4 edited. Let's just get that created. Price doubt. No, you saw this. You saw the image for the is it the females? Yeah, the women's Euros. So you saw that. But it's still Pepsi Max all the way. In fact, it might appear blue because of the lighting, maybe, as well. No. So, Melissa, we also have a podcast. You know, if you have any, how many of you have got? I better not say it because it will activate. Man, how many of you have got Alexa? So, if you've got Alexa, say this. In fact, I'll tell you now. Do this. Go and say. Go on, say that. Say that. Go on, say it. So I have a video that I stick on YouTube, and then I also release just the sound from it as well as an MP3 onto podcast as well. These are stuff where you don't need to see the screen. You can just hear what I say. Yes, the way I do it is I release the podcast. They come out every, I think, 2 a week or 1 or 2 a week. And the videos for them don't come out until like, I think it's end of May or June. So they're quite a way off. And the reason I do that is so that they're kind of spaced out a bit as well. Oh, did this not type, Melissa? I just typed something. Here, I just typed this. Here. There, I just typed that. But you already know that. Right, just double check they all... I should have... Yeah, okay, cool. And then do video 5. Really, Melissa? So if I type right now, hold on. If I type Melissa, can you see that? I've just typed your name, Melissa. Is that not showing up? Ah, okay, you can see it now. Okay, cool. Hey, Chris, you okay? How you doing? Yeah, so Pixar, I did a shape dividers video about 5 months ago. And when I redid it, a bit more concise in how I did it and released that yesterday. Because someone called Holland, who was on our live chat last week and a few days ago, he was struggling to do something. So I thought, let me just redo it in a more concise way. Hopefully they understood it better. So I did an intersecting shape dividers video 5 months ago, but I redid it with better sound and lighting and camera quality as well. And I feel like some of the really, really old videos, like the mega menu, I need to redo that one. Because to be honest, you know, when you go back and watch the videos I did like what, 8 months ago. Be honest here, the quality of them 8 months ago was pretty bad. The sound quality, the camera quality, the lighting, they weren't brilliant, were they? We've got to be honest here, they weren't that good. If I look back at some of the old ones, I cringe. Not because I'm judging myself, but the quality was not good. George, guess what, George? You see up here right now? Here? This is a new video I've done. So I'm going to do it, send it to them, and then I'm going to say, hey, look, you might want to use this more up-to-date video. And have you thought about a WordPress plugin? Hey, Eric. It was just a, the mega menu video. People still watch that now and again, and I just feel like the quality of it is so bad. I've got to redo it in a more concise, do this, so it's more better. But yeah, the lighting in the old videos was not good, don't you think? Don't you think it was a bit shit, really, wasn't it? Like, really, not great.
Show you them in the WordPress. You don't want to know specifics. It's 1,800.
So I've just got to edit out a whole chunk of this video, which was just the bit where I got interrupted by my auntie calling me. Very true. I mean, you got a good, but I think my thinking more is about there's bound to be some people that have never seen or met me before, and they come on, they'll see a video, and there's a chance they might get put off by the quality of the video. So there's a few I've redone in a more concise manner and stuff like that. Sorry, Eric. I should be mindful, shouldn't I? Shall I tell you a story? So this is going back to 2009, right? So this is going back to, I hate it when I get these messages on here. So this is going back to 2009, okay? And I was in the office, and on Facebook the previous day, I had written, I don't like F, and I don't want to see FFF again or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but there was a few Fs, right? Expletives. The next day, someone I worked with, she came over to my desk, right? Imagine this. She comes over to my desk. In fact, let's go to full screen, right? Because you need to understand this. I'm in my office, right? She comes over to my desk. Right, it was almost like she intentionally stamped her feet. You could feel the thuds. My son saw your swear words on Facebook. I was like, okay. Don't do it again. Don't you dare do that again. I looked at her because I could see loads of other people. This is an open plan office. All looking at me just to see how I react. And I basically said to her, because I remember when she gave birth, okay, this is how much I've known her. I was like, your son's 7 years old. You can't use Facebook until you're 14. What was your son doing on it? He knows my password. That's not the point. And I was like, that's for you to sort out then. Because I am not going to change what I do and how I do it. If you don't like it, that I put FFF whatever, because I can't remember what it was about. I said, then unfriend me. Block me. Unfriend me. Get rid of me. You don't like what I do? Get rid of me. Right? Why are you telling me to change? And it was like, there was almost this like sense of like, what's the word? It's like she had a right to tell me what to put on my Facebook wall, right? When it was her 7-year-old son who knew the password to her face. And I said to her, so what are you going to do if someone puts up like a comment about whatever's? You know, and I said to her, like, I'm really sorry, yeah, but what I put up was not illegal. It wasn't immoral. It wasn't racist or ageist or sexist or anything like that. It was my view on something that had happened that I did not like. And she was offended. And the fact that she thought that I could stop. So you know what I did? Do you know what I did? This is where I'm going to say I was a bit immature, but I don't care. Do you know what I did? The moment she left my desk, I got out my phone, because I had an iPhone then, you know, and it was great to do stuff like that in those days. Went onto Facebook, and do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? Entitled, that's the word, entitled boostage. I literally put on there, I don't effing care what I put on this wall. If you don't like what I say, get off my wall. Stop following me, because I'll probably, you know, I don't care. There you go, I said it. And I would say that, you know, of course you've got to be careful what you put out there. You all do social media, you know, you have to. But it was like, okay, it was like, do you remember, I say the word remember, and I shouldn't say it like that, but look, you know, there's the amount of rape cases in India is off the charts, right? And there was that story, or that crime where the girl or the lady on a bus was raped by 4 or 5 men. Do you remember in India? And there was all this massive outcry in India and across the world. I went and put on Facebook that I am so peeved off at the way people will never change unless you change the mindset and the culture out there, because the movies and the music that they pump out in some places, they promote. They almost make it to be a nice thing to chase women. Oh, it's okay. You know, if she doesn't like you, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to still chase after them. They'll come round eventually. They create this ridiculous mindset. And I put on Facebook, I am peeved off, right, that people don't understand. You got to change the movie industry, the music industry. You got to change the mindset over there. And people were like, how dare you say that? It's like, if you don't like what I say, get off my Facebook wall. Hey, Atif, good to see you. Stephen from Romania Live. Any affordable hosting providers with servers in UK? 20i. 20i is a good one, Stephen. In fact, if I was going to recommend one in the UK, I'd be going SiteGround every day of the week. But the one after that, I would say 20i. That's a good one. And the thing about affordable, though, is it's a dangerous word because it's all about what you get. But SiteGround, if you want to spend a bit more, brilliant. If you want affordable, go for 20i. Yeah, exactly, George, you know. And it's like, to be honest, though, every now and again on my Facebook, I put out a warning saying, right, I'm going to cull anyone I don't want to have on here anymore. So I just unfriend and friend and friend. And I prefer it when people are more honest. SiteGround speed is fine, Stephen. And as far as 20i goes, I know loads of people that use 20i and they're absolutely fine and happy as well. In fact, 20i, they have a chat thing. So go to their website, 20i.com. You can ask them to tell you comparisons. They want to spend a bit more. SiteGround, excellent customer service. 20i still have really good customer service. Don't get me wrong. Really, really good. They are experts. They know what they're doing. But UK, and they're UK based. It's not that they have a server in the UK. They are born and bred and raised in the UK, right? They started off in the UK. Oops. Just hit the microphone there. Boop. Right, let's just finish editing this.
I dragged 100, but it's about the size you scale it to be 50%. It doesn't need to be that big, especially if you've got like these massive like 50 megabyte cameras or something. Do it accordingly, but for what I'm doing, megabyte cameras or something.
Sorry, I'm just editing this video. Yeah, I think it's one of those like for me, it's like one of those things where when you hear of a cheaper option, you're tempted to go for it, and then when you experience what you get with the cheaper option, you suddenly go, you know what? Should have just paid out whatever, because the amount of stressful time it saves you with SiteGround is so good. Yeah, well, there you go, Romania. Go with 20i. Okay, there's Fast Host, I think it is. There's quite a few. Okay, but 20i is reliable. You know what? Do you know the way I look at SiteGround? It's like you know, if you go into this restaurant, it costs a bit more, but you know the quality of the food. And then what you do is you go somewhere else because you want to pay less. And then you're sat there, you get the burger, and you bite it, and you're like, you know what? I really wish I'd gone there, because from the first bite, you're like, you're just going to eat it because you paid for it, not because you enjoy it, but you're going to eat it because you paid for it. Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Let's now go over to WordPress website, Elementor. That's what I'm using as a page builder, and I'm now going to stick in both images. Let me show you them both.
When I go quiet, it's just because I'm just stitching videos, all right? And I have to just pay a bit of attention. Ugh, that was bad. Oh, Eric, you got rid of Ocean WP, but Google verification still don't work. I would. I'm tempted to say yes, start again. I'm tempted to say that if it's not going to cost you a lot of time. I'm tempted to say that. Do you know something, Mel? I haven't actually got around to asking that. I have to say though, I am very much convinced I am very much convinced that you can't take the Pro elsewhere. I'm very much convinced. I feel like it's locked down to that host. Let me make a note, Mel. Okay, I'm really sorry I didn't ask, but let me make a note. Cloud and Pro. What I would say though, Mel, that being said, if you're on the cloud, because you are on the cloud, right? Are you on the cloud or not? I think you are. You know you have the live support. Ask the question there. Just say to them, look, I'm not planning to do this, but I need to advise a client. So say you're advising a client. Just say, if they buy it and then the following year they don't want to renew and they go and, you know, whatever, can they do that? I will ask the question, okay, and I'll find out.
Of those images. Go on, be honest. Let me just expand the screen like that. Of those images.
Sorry, you can hear me sniffling, can't you?
Quality of those images. Come on, be honest. The top image above the orange line is the original 1.2 megabyte. The one below is 1/10. It's less than 10% of the original size. Can you see any difference? I mean, look, just look at the wording there. Can you really see any drop in quality from what we're doing there? What about my face? Look at that. My wonderful teeth. I mean, come on, look. And I've picked an image that's got a little bit of detail inside of it. So should you. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. And I'll see you soon.
Yay! Right, that's the bulk resize photos video done. Let's get this one uploaded, get it out there, and then I'll share it with the bulk resize people as well. What Gary said, I am 99.9% sure as well. You're locked into the host. I don't think, because you're paying for the cloud, you see, in it, and the cloud is the cloud with the Elementor Pro inside of there. You stop paying for the cloud, unless you buy the Elementor Pro license separately. So in effect, you could say, yeah, that if you just want the Pro license, just get the Pro license. You know? I have to say, Melissa, you know that I have to say that, you know that landscape one I did? That took a bit of work, because you've got to make sure your images and everything are right to get that whole parallax effect. But it can be done. It can be done. It can be done, yeah. Right, while that is rendering, might as well do the artwork for the website. Yeah, Gary, definitely. When you get a chance, definitely dump Ocean WP. Sink it. Drop it in the ocean. And don't look back. Throw a stone at it. Make sure it sinks. Just seen what you emailed, George. I have thought about that. But I have thought about that. To tell you what my issue is, though, is that because I just use it on test pages. The minute you delete a test page, it actually affects the JSON as well for some weird reason. But I might go back to doing that, George. I might do. That's actually very true as well, Gary. You know, sometimes just with images, it can be difficult to show. You know, to get across the full, the emotion of what you were trying to convey. Oh, done it again. You just sent it now, Artif. Have you just sent it now? Not got it yet. Not got it yet. I will look at that though. It's very true, Gary. People do get offended over the tiniest thing. Oh, yeah, Atif, just got your email. You see, Atif, I'm gonna ask a question here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make an assumption now. Are you using the call to act? Not the call to action. No, was it the call to action? Hang on, was it the call to action? Because I was testing this out. Was it the call to action? Because the only thing that needs to be adapted on that one, Atif, is it just needs to be higher up. Because otherwise, when you move from the button to the content, you can't. You get a toggle widget. Well, please do email that JSON to me, okay? The template or the instructions for that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, as long as you can just pulled my leg muscle then, literally my leg as I was bending. Yeah. So I think if that could work quite well, mate. That could work. Don't worry about the ugliness of it, Artie. All right. Have you seen? Come on, guys. You know when I do these two videos on whatevers, none of them look good, really, do they? I just go use this image, use this text, whatever. I don't often care about the styling. I don't go to town on that, do I? I just do it just to get across the methodology. I just do it for the methodology. As I always say that I find when I do videos that I don't want to waste your time on, now do this, now do that, and make this look like that. Because half the time, you're going to do it as per what you need to do, right? Hey, George, when you say up, I think mine's more northern, up. Hey, up. What up? Hey, up. Hey, up, my duck. It's more of a Midlands thing. Hey, up. How my duck. Let me just upload this video. Upload. Yeah, upload. I got to upload this one. I had to have a think then about what video am I uploading. Move on. It's time to groove on. Hit the drum and get wicked. I can't type. Do not add images to... It's quite a nice day today. Whenever you're working on websites or doing live chats, I do go, oh, I'm missing out, aren't I? When I get older, losing my hair. I do worry about losing my hair, by the way. I do. My reasons for losing my hair are nothing to do with being vain. I am a little bit vain. I'll be honest. I am. But my reasons for worrying about losing my hair is just because, I don't know if I can show you properly. Can you see here? Can you see this? Can you see there's a bit of a line here? Can you see it just there? And some people think it's a styled sideburn here. Can you see that? That is the end of a scar that goes all the way. It starts starts there. It goes all the way around here, and it goes there, and it ends there. And I'm worried that when I start to go bald, you're going to start to see my scar. And it is a very prominent scar, let me tell you now. Oh man, do you know what? I remember, okay, when there was an exclusive image of C-3PO and R2-D2 with Jar Jar Binks next to the pod racer. And I was at university and I had a computer open and I was waiting for this image to download, and everyone else in the room, because we only had one computer for the whole class in that room, and I was waiting for that image to download because it was the first time we were going to get to see C-3PO with all of his bits, you know, when he was, you know, Phantom Menace without his covering, and R2, a pod racer, and Jar Jar Binks. And it was like this. And you had to wait for it line by line for it to download. It's like that song from Encanto. Na 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 drip 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 drip. Na 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 drip 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 drip. It's like that, wasn't it? Hey Jimmy, how are you? Just talking about images downloading 20 odd years ago. No. We've only been on for about 1 hour and a bit. Drip, drip, drip. Oh, na 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 na. Yeah, go for it, Jimmy. PS, right, whenever anyone wants to drop in or drop out, just go. Just go. Don't worry. Just go. No, slip. Oh. No, drip. This new bulk resized photo, I'm shifting it through into our schedule to get it out tomorrow, mainly because I want to be able to contact them, right? Why is that taking so long to schedule? There you go, it's done. Cool. Right. Now I've got to shift around some of the content. What's the date tomorrow? The 8th. So why did I schedule that for the 9th? Am I a bit thick? I think I am. That goes on the 8th. Oh man, I'm a little bit thick here. I've put the dates in wrong. Right, let's reschedule that one to be on the 12th. No, hold on. I'm getting my dates wrong now. 8, 9, 10, 11. So where's video 12? 12. Right, okay, cool. Yeah, I've got it now. I've got it now. Is that right? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Sorry, I got my dates completely wrong. Three and a half inches of rain. Whoa. Whoa, that's a lot of rain. Whoa, that's a lot of rain, that is. That is like an entire city pissing in your street. They all stood in a line, non-stop. Yeah, just a certificate thing. He literally is just waiting for WordPress to now activate it again. WordPress are so slow at that. So many times I've seen a plugin go into what they call temporary suspension. And it can take a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So I was going to do a video yesterday on the thank you page for WooCommerce, and I was going to use code snippets, and then I saw the error. Sorry, it's 2 days ago I saw the error. And I was like, oh, there are other ways to do it, but I prefer to show it using code snippets. Tornadoes, Gary. Whereabouts are you again, Gary? You're in the UK, aren't you? No, whereabouts are you, Gary? Am I getting myself mixed up? I thought you were in the UK. Whereabouts are you? Kansas. Kansas. Sorry, I thought you were in the UK then. Wow. Do you know what? That's one thing, like, we get stormy weather here. And whenever we know there's a stormy weather, oh, put everything away, secure things. We go crazy, right? But I do say to some people, my God, the way we react. Imagine if we were like, you know, you're like in like Kansas or places where you get tornadoes or hurricanes. Can you imagine? I mean, we often get the end of a hurricane, or, you know, the whatever you want to call it. The final bits of it. But we would be devastated. We would not know what's hit us. When it snows, we come to a halt in the UK, you know. When we have heavy snow, whoom, everything just comes to a grinding halt. Hey, Jimmy. So, to be honest, though, since the day of the iPhone, since the launch of the iPhone, Safari or whatever, there's always been an issue, right? I mean, do you remember? I mean, come on. Do you remember the old days when you first got an iPhone, right? We're talking about the very first iPhone, and you tried to go to a website that had Flash animation or anything to do with Flash. Do you remember those days? You'd be like, what? Huh? It's not working. Do you remember those days? And then you started hating Flash because iPhones don't use it, so you hated Flash. But it's Safari's, you know, even on like your computer, the iMac, you go to a website you've always gone to, you know, a decent website, by the way. You go to a website and it don't work because it's got Flash. Flash, da da, dun 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 dun. Right, it's got Flash. I'm not talking about the bathroom cleaner. I'm talking about Flash Gordon here. Flash. I mean, Flash Gordon movie, right, was really rubbish, right? It wasn't a good movie. But even though it wasn't that good a movie, even as a kid, you knew it wasn't a good movie. Didn't you love it? You know when you knew that Flash Gordon was coming on TV, you'd be like, yay, Flash! You know, Ming the Merciless. And those ridiculous Hawkmen people with Brian Blessed. Wow, 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 you know. But you still loved it to watch it, didn't you? Flash. Dun, 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 dun. And it was such a weird, convoluted story. I mean, the whole big with Timothy Dalton as well. You know, you gotta put your hand into this, like, bit of bark. There's caterpillars everywhere. It's gonna chew your arm off. And you're like, what the heck's going on here? And Ming the Merciless, you know... It's just one of those films that, like... You weren't a child of the 80s if you hadn't seen the Flash Gordon film and gone, Flash! Uh-huh! Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I'm going mad. I feel like I'm losing my marbles. Right, I'm just going to go for a quick loo break. Yes, in case any of you know, I'm going for a piss. All right, I'll be back. I'm just going to swap out my chairs as well. So when I'm recording, I use a different chair But when I'm just working, I like to use this because it's got a bit more of a rock to it, and also a bit of a higher back. When I'm recording videos, this hides too much of basically that bit. I mean, to be honest, Dave, so Dave, you can use responsinator.com, and you can actually test out your navigation menus and all of that. Microshaft wind blows. I just read what Gary wrote. To be honest, Gary, I mean, like, I get why Apple are a bit funny about some things. I do get it. There is also this. Oh, so I spelt it wrong. Responsively. This is a free app they can get for your computer. This is free, Responsively app, and you can actually be very specific. So, and actually, you can pick what type of iPhone as well. So, Pro Max, whatever, Galaxy, whatever. You can be very specific. It's a bit more fiddly. I prefer responsinator.com, if I'm honest. You go to responsinator.com, you pop in your URL, and it gives you the portrait, the landscape, the different size Android phones, the iPad Pro, you get all of them. And you can scan down and see it. And what I love about it is you can click the menu and it will open the way you want it to. You can click the items. You can literally navigate around your site. So it's a great, great way to do it. I thought, do you know what? I really have fallen out of love with tablets in a weird way. I loved the iPads and all of that, and my Surface Pro. I really loved it, but I feel like now with the fact that phones are, I mean, now even the even the basic iPhone XR, even the screen size there, it's like a mini iPad, right? So why people still buy the mini iPads, I don't understand. Why do they buy them? Because you got your smartphone. And I just find now that I think they're more good for portability, right? They're just good for portability. But that's the bit of designing websites that I hate. You do the desktop, you do the mobile, and then you gotta do the tablet. It's the tablet win I hate because I can't be bothered. I'll be honest. I just go with whatever breakpoint Elementor give me. I can't be bothered with portrait, landscape, tablet, and then the fact you got to worry about the iPad Pro and this and that and that. I just can't be bothered. I'm like, meh. Desktop and mobile, I put in much more attention to that. As far as the tablet goes, basically it's like, you do the basics. And I did have one client once, they were like, oh, but when I look at it on an iPad, it's not as good as a Galaxy or this. I was like, look, you want me to cover off every device, it's going to cost more. Number two, what happens in 6 months' time when there's a new size? What happens in a year when there's a new size? What do you want? Because we can make it responsive, but there comes a point where things start to look a bit weird and everything as well. What do you want? Because I said, and I said, look, even when we do your desktop, it looks okay there. But what if you put it on a big 49-inch ultra-wide screen? It looks different now, right? So it's trying to get them to understand, and I used the Apple website as an example. I said, look at the Apple website on a laptop and a screen. Now move it to a really big screen. Do you notice it's actually only occupying a boxed width? Have you noticed this? Not the header and the footer. Look at the content in the middle of the Apple website. Move it to a really big screen. It's a boxed width. So you get them to go, look, this is as best as you're going to get. And when you use the Apple website as an example, that's a great benchmark. Rather than dodgy.com, dodgycarsales.com. Don't show them that. Show them Apple. Literally, move the Apple website onto a big screen, a super wide screen, and look at it. The header and footer is full width. Yeah, I get that. But look at the content. It's all boxed width. A very good point, Gary. I think, do you know what? There's some good analogies there. Next time a client says to me, but what about the tablet? I'll say, are you old? No, but you're actually very true. A couple of the panels I have up here, the sound acoustic panels, 2 of them fell down yesterday. I was like, oh my God. Shoved them back on and they stuck instantly. But I was like, they should not have come down. Yep, George, I've had that. I also had one. It was something similar to. Well, no, what it was is, they'd gone to like 150%, and what they then said is, yeah, I can't see the button. Where's the button? I was like, yeah, because you've zoomed in, but I can't scroll to it. I went, yeah, you can't scroll to it because you've zoomed so much. The scroll bar's not even visible. Put your screen back to 0, control 0, because it was Windows. Yeah, but what if I zoom in? I still want to see the button. At this point, what you want to do, right, is send them a zoomed in photo and now tell them to zoom out. And when they zoom out, they'll realise it's you bending over with your butt in their face. Here you go, it's my backside. And when they won't realise that until they zoom out. They're like, what is this? Is this a new constellation? Is this like a new planet? And as they zoom out, they go, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's what you want to do. And there you go, zoom out. In fact, no, don't do that, because then they'll be scared of zooming out. That's probably not a good idea. Or maybe you're trying to convince them that by zooming in too much, they see what they didn't want to see. This is complicated. Space Pecker. I'm trying to think of something. There was a story I had a year ago, and I can't remember the details exactly. It wasn't to do with the Zoom, but again, it was to do with the way someone had set up their browser, and I was like, no one does that. No one does that. I can't remember what it was. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Just can't remember what it was, but there was something about the way they'd set up their browser, and it wouldn't show the proper website. And I went, yeah, but no one does that. He goes, yeah, but I do that. I don't care what you do. Follow the norm. People, hey? People. No, it wasn't browsers. It was something to do with their browser, though. It was something they had done. What was it? I'm trying to remember what they did. It was just something they did. I can't remember what it was, but it was something they did which just stopped their website working properly. And they just wouldn't get it. Um, I suppose in a way, Jimmy, if you went into settings and you set the breakpoint to, instead of being 720 or 780, and you set it to be 460, then, if I'm right, the desktop, when they go to tablet, it will still be like the desktop mode, but it could look very cramped, right? I don't know. I'm just talking out my backside again, aren't I? I mean, this is the kick-ass live chat. So the fact we were talking about analysts, backsides, tanning your bum in the sun, zooming in on backsides. We are proper talking about asses today, aren't we? We need to change it from the kick-ass to the ass live chat. The backside live chat. No, can't do that. Oh, God, Google. Google have too much power, right? They have way too much of a monopoly over the way things should be. Sometimes I like it, because they've been pushing for WebP for ages. What's the thing that comes after WebP? There's a new thing. What's it called? You know the new thing after WebP? It's even more compressed. What's it called? It begins with A. I think it begins with A, the letter A. What does it begin? It's something to. It's the new thing after WebP. I can't remember what it's called. It begins with letter A. You know, sometimes Google do push for really good stuff, but sometimes they can be very particular. Like the whole thing about how like your website has to be super simple. That's it, Dave. AVIF. AVIVF. That's it. There you go. Look, George. Does anyone know how much of a compression though it does though compared to WebP? Does anyone have any stats or numbers to talk about there? Do we have any numbers? Please, Jimmy, no coding questions. Not today. Not today, please. Has anyone seen Doctor Strange 2 yet? I haven't seen it yet. Has anyone seen it? Any good? Good? Liked it? No, WebP is fine. WebP is fine on Edge. It's fine on Chrome. It's fine on your iPhone and your Mac as well. If you haven't updated your Mac and your iPhone in the last 2 years, you'll have a WebP issue. The amount of times I've had clients say to me, the images aren't working. And I go, what iOS are you using? And they're on iOS 13. And I go, why don't you update to iOS 15? Because since iOS 14, the WebP is better. Yes, that's what I've read, George. So I read they say it's better quality and 30% smaller. Now, if that is true, that is brilliant, right? I mean, anything that takes a big thing and makes it smaller is good. In fact, this is the only time when smaller is better, right? It's the only time when smaller is better. Except when you talk about calories and carbs, then smaller is better there as well. Any other instance where something that is small is better? Debt, where the smaller your debt, the better. Images, debt, calories and carbs. The smaller the better. Algae. The less algae you have, the better as well. What else in life? The smaller the better. Stress. But that's not really tangible, is it? You could argue that's self-inflicted sometimes. Or you think you're stressed, but you're not. But stress. Yeah. Very philosophical today, aren't we? Coconut. Ramsey, coconut. The smaller the better. Is that where we're going with coconut? Women like things that come in small boxes. Is that what you tell your husband, Melissa? Are you right now summarising your honeymoon? We have to be so careful, don't we? Aha! That's a good one. Less snow, less rain. Do I sound croaky, by the way? I can hear my voice getting croakier. I blame my son for this. I do blame my son, the little... So I'm just checking for something. That's actually quite good, George. Yeah, the smaller it is, the more expensive it is. Wow, Gary, that is that's some good stuff you got there. The AVIF. And that's, well, hopefully bulkresizePhotos.com enabled that. In fact, that'll be one of the other questions I'll ask them, George, right? I'll ask them about AVIF. I am working. I'm actually working, people. So you know, right now, I'm writing some stuff up. Yeah, it's getting croakier. It is getting croakier. I'm just going to go and grab some peanuts. I have to say it. Peanuts. And a Pepsi Max, all right. I'll be back in 1 minute. George. Sorry, not George. Gary from Visual Media. Thanks for all the info there on AVIF. I'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, I'm gonna bring up a completely random subject now. Okay, ghost stories. I've never seen a ghost. I've never experienced anything close to a ghost. But you know, whenever like you talk about ghosts in an office, there'd always be someone who goes, "I saw a ghost. I was somewhere. I was in a room." And I saw a ghost. It came up to me. And I go, and then what? It didn't say anything, but I saw a ghost. But they can't even properly describe the ghost or even what brought it on or what happened next. You kind of feel like, okay, you're either drunk or you've made this up to join in on the conversation. But let's talk about ghost stories. Who here has seen a ghost? Or thinks they've seen a ghost? Anyone got any ghost stories? Come on, ghost stories. Anyone seen, experienced, or thinks they've seen a ghost? And don't bring up the ghost from Three Men and a Baby. That wasn't a ghost. That was Ted Danson's costume. You know the Three Men and a Baby? Do you remember that scene where I think he's with his mother-in-law or his ex-mother-in-law or someone? And in the background, it looks like there is someone stood there with no feet. That was not a ghost. That was Ted Danson. It was one of his costumes hung up. But everyone goes, "Oh, it was a ghost." Yeah, Ghostbusters. That's a very good one, Ramsey. But come on, ghosts. Who has seen a ghost? I've got my son's had a cold for 3 days, Atif, and it's I've caught his cold, so I'm getting croaky. I'm dying. No, I've got a croak. What, Catherine? You saw I have seen a shadow figure with a hat on move past a doorway. Was this when you were in the changing rooms? Because that probably wasn't a ghost. But wow, Dave, right, come on, Dave, let's see, let's read. God, this is exciting. Let's read upon these experiences. So Dave used to wake up at night feeling I was being pressed into the bed. Put it down there. I used to catch it. Are you serious, Dave? What did you see out the corner of your eye? What did you see out the corner of your eye? Was it your wife running away after she's battered you on the bed? What was happening? Oh, wow, Catherine. Really? Someone's never went back again. I have heard the story about the white woman. In fact, there was a show once where a show on TV once where they talked about that. Oh, come on, Ramsey, you saw Bigfoot. I'm only after serious stories here, okay? Don't make anything up. I want to know about, do you actually think you saw a ghost? Scared out. Atif, every morning. Atif, you think there's a ghost as a kid. Do any of you remember Ghost Watch from about 1993, 1994 in the UK? There was a show called Ghost Watch. It was about 4 hours long. It was the scariest show ever. It was in the UK about 93, 1994. My dad, my brothers, me, everyone I knew at school that watched it, even the teachers, everyone was petrified. Do you remember that, David? Dave, do you remember Ghost Watch? Do you remember? I kept looking at the clock because they kept talking about the clock has stopped working. I kept looking at my clock. Ghost Watch, do you remember Pipes? The ghost's name was Pipes. And now and again the camera panned and you caught a glimpse of Pipes. And I believed it, thinking it was real. But it was all staged afterwards. We were going to do Ouija board in 1992 when we were in France. Etretat, school trip. And our art teacher, Mr. Armstrong, he went ballistic on us. Don't you dare do the Ouija board. Don't you dare. We were like, we haven't even got a Ouija board. Wow. That was a hell of a show, wasn't it, Dave? That was a hell of a show. Crime Watch. Oh, yeah. Well, I think that scared a lot of people when you saw what crime was. Wow. Ghosts say. Hey, Ati, thanks for sending that email. I will study that later or tomorrow and I'll go through and I'll get back in touch with you, okay, if there's any steps I don't get or whatever, but I will have a look at that. Melissa, when you say you don't recommend it because you open yourself up to unwanted shit, was that because someone had used it as a toilet? Who gave it to you? Well, according to Mr. Armstrong, he said he did it with his friends when he was at college. And he said one of his friends ended up ending up falling into a coma that night. And they ended up in hospital and never heard from him again. Cheers, Atif. Okay, now let's go for another subject, right? Okay. Yes, I've been to a morgue. I have been to a hospital morgue. My cousin used to be a security guard at a morgue and he took me down there. We weren't meant to be there. He took me down there and I never, ever want to go again. Ever. But I have. So in 1997 to 1999, I was doing a medical degree of the eyes at University of Sheffield. And in the second year, we had to do dissection on a human body. So we had a real human body brought out, and for 2 weeks we had to dissect it bit by bit to understand the anatomy and physiology. And that was still, for me, one of the scariest things I feel like I've ever had to do. I had a real human, it was an old man, and we had to like, literally cut in, dissect, take bits out, the eye, the nerves, the brain. It was a scary thing, because you were literally working on a real body. It was not nice. Let's change the subject onto, is there someone in your family you can't stand? Maybe we shouldn't do that subject because anyone ever looks back, but is there someone in your family you just can't stand? We even named our body Derek because you didn't know who they were, but we called him Derek. And for 2 weeks, you just felt, and then you come back the next day and, you start, it's just, it's like, and it's always weird because it was always a morning session and then you go off to lunch. And it's really weird when you see someone next to you with a plate of spaghetti and you've just been cutting into the brain. You've been dissecting the human brain and going into like the middle, the hypothalamus and all of that and all the nerves that come out. And it's, I really don't get on with a lot of my immediate family, brothers, mum and dad, a lot of people. A lot of them, I won't be doing a live chat tomorrow because they're coming over for Raheem's birthday party on Sunday. I am not going to enjoy it. No liver. But it was, I think in that moment, I had a bigger respect for human life when you realise that, and you know what, all of these, we had like I remember there was about 8 or 9 bodies. And we were told that every single one of them had donated their body for medical research. And it just made you go, wow. Like, wow. They would be buried later, right? They would be buried later. But the fact that do you know what, Atif? I tell you what it is, yeah. It's because they have a different way of life and a different mindset. And I think you guys get me. What my mindset is in life is like that. And it's just that we just don't match. We just don't match. Ex-wife Dave. I might say current wife as well, but ex-wife definitely. I mean, I've not been there. I haven't got an ex-wife, but I can get that. Tax declaration. Nobody oh, come on, people. I do not enjoy bookkeeping. I do not enjoy accounting. I do not enjoy the certification, declaration. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Hate it. I mean, I totally get why we have to pay taxes. I totally get it. But I have to say, that personally for me, I just think that, like, when you're self-employed or whatever, you don't have a good amount of guaranteed income each month. You'll have some, and then you got to make, it's hard work to make sure you get rolling income, right? And I just feel like unless you're earning a good amount, right, they should let you off paying tax for a certain amount. Really, I do. And I know in the UK it's about £12,500, but I think it needs to be increased. I really do, because corporation tax on top of, income tax on top of corporation tax for companies, I think Atif, I hope you understand what I'm saying, yeah, but I just think, yeah, that, when you're in the UK, I don't think you should be paying corporation tax until you're earning a certain amount, because it hits you hard. Exactly, maintenance plan, that's your rolling income, but, you can't survive on just the maintenance. Maybe you can, Catherine, I don't know. Maybe you can. Well, 100 clients, maintenance plans sounds very, very nice. I mean, can you imagine 100 clients, $40 a month? That's like $4,000 a month. That's quite good. Yeah, I mean, I have, when I gave up my day job, okay, in January, my monthly income is now 1/5 of what I was earning before. 1/5. I would love to get it back up to what I was on before, and it's going to take time. Slowly, but it's going to take time. But I am happier self-employed, web design agency, all of that. I'm happier doing that than the day job, because the day job, a lot of meetings, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of pressure, answering to other people, managing staff as well. There was a lot of pressure. And I just wasn't completely happy. I don't think I've been happy for the last 10 years. Not been really happy. But you got to go with what makes you feel good. I mean, right now, I spent close to £1,000 on doing this room up. I didn't have to. I could have stayed upstairs. I spent nearly £1,000. A lot of money. The soundboards, the acoustics, the wallpaper, changing things around. I spent a lot of money. And that is money that, it's not like I just, I got £1,000, I'll just do that. No, I had to think really hard. And I think I'm very careful on what I spend money on, what I do, and what we do with the money. And it's going to take a while. However, I'm not driving as much, so I'm saving on fuel. I'm saving a major amount of fuel, I'm telling you. I'm not saving on now driving to meetings in the morning so I can take my son to school and I'm here when he gets home, so more family time. But you're your own boss. And if my wife is home and she's taking Raheem to school, I can have a lie-in. So you know, it's the work-life balance is it's a big thing, and the financial hit, I do feel it. Believe me, I do feel it. But you got to kind of like weigh up, okay, you know, what do you do with the money you have and how do you make it work and stretch it? Yeah, absolutely, Atif. Absolutely. I know what you're getting at. And responsibility, expectation, anticipation, so much things. I'm not sure, Bob. Can you clarify that a bit more? So when you say use the business as a right, I mean, yeah, you can write off some things, you know, like some expenses. However, um, yeah, there are some things you can do. Yeah. So Gary, I will let Raheem choose what he wants to do. However, I have noticed that he has got he does take interest in Canva. He plays around with Canva. He's got his own laptop, you know, for when he does schoolwork sometimes, but he likes to play around Canva. He takes an interest in web design. He sits there watching me sometimes, and I think he might end up going into it. And I don't mind training and helping him, but I will let him choose his path, what he wants to do. Hey Mark, Aldi beans on toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hey Dave, why not? Yeah, we have an Aldi Yeah, we got Aldi supermarkets over here. We've got one literally 5 minutes drive away from us. I mean, I would love it if like he eventually helped, contributed, and took over the web design agency, and maybe one day he's continuing the videos and things, you know. But it's if he wants. I mean, I think he probably, you know, I think he would, you know, whole working from home and all of that. Because he has said to me, oh, what if, he goes, oh, I'm scared. What if I get a job and I'm not good at it? And I'll say to him, well, you got to find a job you know you can do. And you will find something you can do. I mean, we're in Leicestershire, we have Aldi and Lidl, you know. We've got loads. We've got about 2 Lidl stores, about 4 Aldi stores I know of in Leicestershire. Quite popular in Leicestershire. I mean, what I do is just going something that Atif mentioned earlier. So, what I kind of say to my family is, I don't interfere in what you do, so don't interfere with me or force down how I should behave or what I should do because um, what what I do works for me and what you do works for you, and as long as we respect boundaries, we're good. You go to Lidl thinking you're going to Aldi. Funny that. Yeah, and I have to say though that you know when you start to understand that. I mean, let's be honest here. There are some types of food where you gotta pay and get the branded food because the taste. There's something about the taste. You can't deny that. But there are some foods where it makes no difference where you buy it from. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Lidl, Aldi, wherever. And I will always probably go for where am I going to get the more bang for buck? I know that if I go Tesco, I do a big shop, it's going to cost 80, 90 quid. Easily. I go to Aldi, I know I'll be spending 35, 40 quid, and I'll probably get more. Much, much more. Dave, £130 a month for you and your son. That is brilliant. That is amazing, amazing value. And if you guys are happy what you're eating, and I think you are, that is brilliant. Oh yeah. Oh, Atif. Do you know what, Atif? I have done an exodus from the community. I've done an exodus. I've exiled myself from the community a long time ago. I only go to weddings where I care about who's getting married. Same with funerals. I've completely exiled myself. So I don't mix with community unless I want to. And I feel so much better for it, Atif. So much better. So much more freedom. Yeah, cornflakes, like stuff like that I'm not too fussed about. Take care, Pigstar. Love having you here, mate. You take care, alright. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Make big batches of stuff. No, 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 no. Atif, I can answer that. So when we first got married, she was very much family orientated, very much into her family, the way they do things. You know, she wanted to go see her mum and dad every 2 or 3 days, so I have to go over as well. Yeah, Ramsey, you know, religion can, you know, tradition, culture. So she was very much into her family and everything. And over time, she started to see things through the way I see things. Like, she started to realize and see that there's a lot of fakeness around communities or the way people do things and how it's tradition, or you're just doing it to keep face with stuff like that, culture, you know, culture, tradition. And slowly she started to realize, and I didn't influence her, she realized herself, this is holding you back. This is stopping her from reaching her own potential or life and, you know, doing what she wants. So she started to very, you know, herself going, well, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do this. And she's very much like me, where she kind of like, she won't go running to her family events or community events unless she really, really wants to do that. We in July, we will have been married 18 years. So we got married in 2004. 18 years. So we got married when I was, how old was I? 25. I was 25 when we got married. She was 25 too. So we're both, yeah, 25. So 18 years. We split up in 2009. I have to be honest, we split up in 2009. We separated for a bit just because things just weren't going right between us in terms of like the way I like to live life and the way she likes to live life. And then we compromised and adapted. But a bit before that, she started to realize that actually families hold you back. They stop you being you or reaching your full potential sometimes. Like, you know, where you live, the way you dress, what you eat, what you do, the friends you have, what you say. There's always something like traditional culture kicks in. And my son has no sense of culture or tradition in that we want him to behave. We know morals, principles, what's right, what's wrong. But, you know, if you compare him to his cousins are only like 2 or 3 years older. And some of his cousins are younger than him. But when you look at the difference, the cousins that are like, so he's 7 now, Raheem. But when you look at his cousins that are 9 and 10, and then the other ones that are like 6, 4, 2, you know, when you look at them, they are miles apart. Because those cousins, they're all bought into tradition and culture. So they're living life the way their parents lived their life and the way their grandparents lived their life. And you do this, you do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you can see the restriction. You can see that they're not living life to its full. Whereas Raheem, he's more independent. And that's the other thing. I'm not dependent on anyone else in my family because so I'm quite happy to remind. Sometimes family members say stuff to me and I go, hold off. I don't need, I'm very open, and I will say to people, I don't need you for my health, my wealth, or my life. I don't need you. Whereas other people in the family, if they don't have that community sense or whatever, their health is affected, or they lose out on inheritance or money or contributions or their life. You know, I'm one of those people where I don't have to always go out to a family member's house. This is going to sound really bad now, everyone, okay? But I don't have to go visiting people when I have spare time, because my spare time is my time to recuperate. So I'm busy. There's work. There's live chats. There's YouTube. There's videos. There's clients. There's agency. There's my son. There's eating. There's gardening. There's watching Netflix, Marvel, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, right? So with me, when I have a spare time for me is that moment where I just kind of sit and go, right, I'm just going to do nothing. I'm just going to right? That is spare time. Just wind down and don't care, right? And whereas in my family, my mum and dad, my brothers and everyone else in the family, and from her side, when they have spare time, they need to go and visit another family member. And then they go visit another family member. And I'm like, no, I would rather just switch off. Just sit in the garden. Just absorb, reflect, think. Just admire the world we have, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, totally active. Yeah, I think it comes down to experience. So I think in some cases, like culture and tradition can be good. I find like growing up until like the age of like 16. In my experience, culture and tradition was stopping me being me. But you are right. I think it comes down a lot to life and experiences as well, yeah. So we've gone from loads of stuff. We even talked about ghosts, family. I am, though, going to be a real arse and say that I may stop this live chat in let's give it 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, okay? Because when I do the live chats, I have stuff I'm working on. However, that is stuff I can work on where it's okay to drop in and out. And there's some stuff I just want to sort out and do, but I am going to need to be tunnel vision focused on. And I want to get them done. I've just realised my hair was like that just then for a moment, wasn't it? Just make sure that's all okay. I think I need to get a haircut. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, most likely I will not be live tomorrow. Most likely. Unless I do an evening session. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how I feel. Right, I'll tell you what. We'll cut off now, okay? We'll cut off now. To be honest, though, I enjoy deep conversation. And I will say that that one of the things about my friends at school, college, university, work, whatever, is that I like to think I'm quite a humorous guy. Chilled out, have a laugh, be crazy, whatever, right? Be crazy and all that. Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is that is that irritation. What I would say is that is sometimes, though, when I know someone needs to have that deep conversation about life or issues or problems, I really invest and get involved into that. And I would say that, you know, these kick-ass live chats aren't, if ever anyone wants to have a serious chat about something and you want to get different viewpoints or opinions, go for it. Because we're all different, aren't we? Bob, it's 7 a.m. I might be on later. I don't know. Might do another one later on. I don't know. But I would say, anyone ever wants a deep conversation, let's do it, okay? Next time. Anything we want to talk about, except ghosts. Except the ghosts. Because I think we're all over the place with ghosts. Right, I am going to crack on with something else now. To be honest, it's actually nearly 3:30 in the UK. And I've got a feeling my son will be home in about an hour and a half. So I've got a bit of time just to kick on with something. Take it easy, everyone, and I shall see you soon. And Atif, I will, if I don't get a chance today, definitely tomorrow, if I can fit it in tomorrow, but I will get back to you, okay? And it'd be great if this works really well. Just another solution. And I will make sure you get credit for this, all right, on the video and everything. Space aliens. Next is space aliens. What? Do you mean in terms of have we seen aliens? I would love for them to discover aliens, but let's leave that till the next one. I would love to know there's aliens out there. I would love it. Right, okay. Go and do a little dance. Sing a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Right, okay. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Do aliens talk about seeing alien ghosts? I suppose they do. That's an interesting one. I'm going to sleep on that one. Take care. Bye.